Joining us now is Sky's US Analyst Michael Ware. Michael, great to see you. Precarious situation off the back of the killing of these US troops. And as we heard there in that report, it feeds straight into the discussion ahead of the presidential election. So it's become the political issue as well right now.
Yeah, well, it has become a little bit of a political football. But however, let's not forget, this American election is not going to be decided on foreign policy. It's going to be decided on the economy and on the border and domestic issues. But this does still help bring foreign policy a little bit to the fore. Now, there have been 159 attacks on US facilities in the region since October 17. And we've seen injuries of US troops, mostly traumatic brain injuries. And there's dozens apparently in this attack. But these are the first deaths. Now, there's conflicting reports about this base. The Americans say it was inside Jordan, close to Syria. The Jordanians say it was inside Syria, close to Jordan. The point I'm trying to make is that if this was in Jordan, that opens up yet another front in this proxy war. I'm already counting 8 or 9 fronts in this war that is emanating from Gaza, if you count Lebanon and Syria and Iraq and Yemen and so on. So this is an expansion of the war and potentially makes it much more inflammatory here in America. And let's not forget, we lost 2 Navy SEALs last week. They were intercepting a Houthi dhow that was transporting weapons. Now, as we understand it publicly, that was not from hostile action. It may have been an accident, but we have also lost 2 Navy SEALs.
Yeah. And you look at the risks involved. Obviously, there are calls there, Lindsey Graham, Donald Trump, and others saying there should be direct strikes on Iran. If that were to eventuate, the Iranian retaliation, whether it be on Israel, more likely, or US facilities, would be inevitable.
Yeah, look, calls like this feed much more into how you started, into the domestic election campaign. Because I can tell you now, Donald Trump is not going to strike Iran. Lindsey Graham wouldn't even really want to strike Iran. And I've known Lindsey Graham for 20 years, because if you strike inside Iran, then the war is on. And I can tell you now, nobody wants that. Not the Americans, not the Israelis, not the Iranians. I mean, look at the fact. As we saw just a week or two ago, the Islamic State conducted 2 suicide bombings inside Iran. And according to recent reporting, the Americans warned the Iranian that the Islamic State was going to do this. Now, the Islamic State either didn't believe the Americans or trust them, or didn't take enough precautions. But the point being, this shows you that lines of communication are open. That does not mean that Iran's so-called axis of resistance, all these paramilitary groups and organizations it supports around the region, aren't going to continue to pinprick American forces. And unfortunately, this time, they killed 3 troops. That's not going to stop. The real question is, what does US Central Command do next?
Exactly. US Analyst Michael Ware, thanks so much. Great to chat. We'll talk to you soon.